Bad luck. Okay, strategy. All right, so find your expert and work closely with them. I think I already gave some tips before the break as to how to choose an expert and work closely with them. So I won't go on with that. Now, in order to get people to take action on your Facebook ads, you need to have some kind of way to attract them. So one way is to have a lead magnet. And one thing I did really successfully in the early days, my lead magnet was the full ebook of this book. Okay, the full ebook, right? And I used to get 65% conversion. I don't know if you know what that, yes, that's what that means. All right, so every 65 people clicked on my little landing page, left their contact details to get this book. All right, which some of you who are authors or you're about to become authors, it's a way of looking at delivering massive value, building trust and rapport, and building up your database significantly. Since I've learned that sometimes maybe giving away a whole book is not as good an idea. Why? Because people just file it away into iBooks or whatever, and then they don't really, I'll read that, I'll get to that. So this is where Francesca developed a magic PDF that some of you may have heard about, and I actually compacted this whole book into the 3 or 4 page beautifully designed PDF document, and I sent traffic to that, which was interactive. They call it magic because it had clickable links in there that would send people to the half-day workshop. You can do a checklist, you can do tests, but you can run ads to this, and this is obviously for building a database. Sometimes with your Facebook person, you will need to decide, do I send people straight to the thing I want them to buy, which is say my half-day workshop or whatever it is, or do I perhaps warm up an audience and build my list from this strategy, okay? You can use on Facebook ads videos. You would have seen how many entrepreneurs use video on Facebook ads, and videos work really well. But if you do use them, I strongly recommend that you put the captions on them. And that can be really, there's services that do it for really inexpensively to put subtitles on your videos. What worked really, really well for me is having like one of my authors holding their book, like you saw earlier in the video, you know, and they're just talking about their experience, kind of really natural, not a fully professionally shot video. One of those ads went like hotcakes in terms of how many conversions we were getting of people buying to the events. All right, a sponsored blog. A sponsored blog is a way of warming up and building up an audience list so that you can retarget to. Now let me answer the question that was posed yesterday. Can you target people who are members of a Facebook group? Which the answer from Francesca was no, and that is true. So you can target people whose emails you have, okay? So if you build up an email database and you have emails of people who like your page, or you have scraped it. Also what Stuart said, well, yes, you can, but it will be illegal. He said, huh? Said, what do you mean, Dal? I go, what do you mean illegal? Oh, he goes, well, there is a way to work out what people's certain email addresses are from a Facebook group, and then to try to retarget. But the legal way of doing it is to have your Facebook person call what they call a pixel on that particular landing page. So if you're sending someone to a sponsored blog or a certain landing page and they've opened it but they didn't buy, then you can retarget them multiple times. Like what you guys, you've seen ads multiple times because you clicked on it. Until you buy, they're gonna follow you. And probably even more. We do the same thing to people. And some people don't know much about ads and they think it's a sign, the universe sending us to them and stuff like that. It's really cute.
It's called an algorithm.
Yeah, it's called an algorithm. But yeah, oh, you're everywhere. It just keeps coming up. It was meant that I was meant to be in this room. But yes, he said that email addresses, if you have them, that's when you can target specific groups. The other way to target is when you're targeting likes. So if we, and he said you can't even target, so for example, if people like me and Francesca and yourself, target people who like Natasha Moy. Natasha Moy. Did you see that t-shirt?
Yeah, she bought it for me.
I bought it. It was a Target. I walk into Target and I go, Moy. I said, what? Quick. Team Moy, yeah. See, we're meant to be sisters, right? So Natasha Denman and Francesca Moy, we're not famous enough to be targeted to. Even people like Kerwin Ray or, those entrepreneurs, but people like Dr. John DeMartini, Tony Robbins, those kind of guys, they can be the audiences, like who likes these particular people, they're the ones that we end up targeting for our particular business. So you need to figure out who are these bigger people whom your ideal client follows or talks about and all that sort of stuff, and they're the people that you would generally target. Otherwise, there's not as big an audience, and therefore you don't have enough people to advertise to. Page likes, you can target to obviously, you can, and then remarketing. So of course, remarketing is when you have done all the advertising, but now you're remarketing and re-advertising.
Sorry, going back to, so if there are people who, like Tony Robbins, for example, who are also going to be your potential clients.
Yes.
I'm sorry, that
Yeah.
they're there, but then what do you do with that?
Oh, well, your ad gets shown to those people. Because you've said target people who mention Tony Robbins or are following his page, right? And so therefore your ads appear in front of those people. You might say it's only women 35 to 55 that I want to target. So you're really selecting the age groups, the sex of the ideal person, the location, right? So this is also, let me talk a little bit more about strategy, because when you run events, it's really bad. Never, never, never run 2 promotions to the same city. Like say, Alicia, you run multiple events, and let's say you're doing, okay, this is a perfect example. Today we're doing a masterclass, right? Could we have run ads to promote this further? Yes, we could have. But I've got events that are running next week, Gold Coast, Brisbane, Sunshine Coast. There's no way in hell would I have run ads to both of these things, because you'll confuse the audience and you're just going to waste a ton of money. Never concurrently run. This is why we do national tours, and we put a really good gap of 3 or 4 months between cities, because people get banner blindness. Yeah, if I ran an event every 6 to 8 weeks in Melbourne, I wouldn't be able to fill it as I do normally. So it's strategically designing your plan for the year needs to be that you have enough gaps. Even this year we're like, do we go 3 times to Adelaide and Perth? Because we do get good numbers there, but Stu goes, are they too close together? But we're able to figure out a 3.5 month gap and go, let's see how it goes. Because what we also figured out, guys, is we did events in Ballarat, we did events in Toowoomba, we did, where else did we go? That was sort of smaller towns and cities.
Byron Bay?
No, I didn't do Byron, but you did. No, Townsville, but Townsville, we've done okay in Townsville and Cairns, that's why we're returning. But sometimes you've got to figure out what is the mindset of the audience in these cities according to what you do. For us, we are looking for the entrepreneurs and the people who are wanting to build, these amazing businesses. And unfortunately, those smaller towns didn't work out for us. Whereas for Alicia, she actually targets those towns, because you just get so many people come to those, and no wonder you're going to keep going back. We actually filled the room significantly, 30, 40 people. It was actually really well filled, but we didn't convert. And why? Because we could feel in the audience, yes, these people were interested in writing a book, but they didn't have that mindset of what we're showing them, the bigger picture of the leverage and all that kind of stuff. So then we said, okay, tested that, doesn't work, not going back there again. Yeah? And then figure out, do I go to this city twice a year? So like I looked at our calendar and I said, why are we going to Sydney only twice this year? Sydney's the biggest city in Australia. I said, we should be doing 4 times Sydney. I said, yet we're doing 3 times Adelaide and Perth. And I said, put 2 more events into Sydney. And I said, where and how can we do it? So you actually have to be flexible in figuring out what you're doing and how you're doing it, and making sure that you're not hitting public holidays or school holidays in those states and all that sort of stuff, because we made the mistake of doing it on the first day of school in Canberra last year, and we had 5 people in the room. Okay, so when you're investing significant amounts of money to make an event happen for travel and for ads and all that kind of stuff, you really got to learn from your your testing, I guess I'm going into testing and measuring right now, and refine what your calendar looks like. And ultimately, after a few years, you will have a calendar that's, you know, kind of pretty spot on. So, which bring up like audiences, which we talked about before. Okay, so testing and measuring. Here we go. Document absolutely all outcomes, okay? So what I mean, so I have this massive spreadsheet. All right, I'll tell you what I document. So I'll write a list. Okay, you first of all tell me, if you were running Facebook ads, what would you document? So think about these line things being rows on a spreadsheet. So test and measure. I know a lot of you do events and some of you don't, but let's like pretend. Clicks.
Like who's clicked on the ad?
Yeah, I don't document that, but you could. That's all right. What else? No. Okay. No. Okay. All right, I'll start again. You guys are going into like how much money? Yes, cost.
I thought we were talking outside the cost. You know what it's been.
Okay, cost per person in the room. Facebook management fees.
So you're talking about like if you spent $6,000 on a campaign and you got 20 people in the room.
And what is that divided by those 20 people per person in the room?
Conversion, like the cost of conversion.
Yes, yeah.
Even though they may not have come from those Facebook ads.
Well, there is a way of tracking that. So we actually have a column that says from Facebook ads.
Rather than
And
organic
correct. And then you've got the organic column. Yeah, so you can tell your Facebook guy if he's performing or not performing, right? What else would you measure? Pretend you're doing events.
How many conversions you got? How many people you get to
People in the room. People in the room. The room. No shows. No shows. What else? Yes, so clients and dollars from those clients. Yeah, the revenue, right? The revenue line.
What about room costs?
Good one. Yes. So let's go other costs, and we're going to put under this a few different ones. So room hire. What else? Airfares. Yes.
Travel food.
Car, accommodation, food. What's this one?
F&B, food and beverage.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. Food and beverage, hire car, accommodation. Yep, those are the 5 generally. Clicks, cost per person in management fees, Facebook ads, organic people. I do percentages of conversion. Yeah, so you can see where you're converting. Yeah.
Other costs would be any materials that you're printing.
Nah, don't do that one. I do product sales. So I like, you know how you got the sheet earlier from us today. The biggest difference that made a big difference to actually almost pay for all of this on the road was actually offering people to buy my books and planners. Me, the idiot, didn't put any. People used to come up to me and go, "Can we buy your books?" in my half-day workshop. I never actually sold my books. I never sold my products. And one day I go, "Oh my God, why don't I just put it on the back of my qualifying form?" So the front of my qualifying form is my qualifying chat sheet, and the back was a tick. What book would you like? Or planners. All of a sudden, we're selling $500 to $1,000 of product of an event. And I go, "Oh my God, that's paying for all of these costs. Why the hell didn't I do it?" Yes, I got to carry more luggage and all that, but why wouldn't you? Yeah? It's my Kit Kat question, or did you want fries with that kind of thing. So, you know, this is the power of having a product. I'm sure you sell quite a few books in your events.
my staff if I have
Your staff, right? Yeah. So this becomes a spreadsheet, you guys, a big spreadsheet. Yeah, Margaret?
like place where you are, where the destination.
Oh, yes, the column does have date and city. Yeah, date and city. And throughout the year, and I have the whole year from top to bottom, and I go work that way. And don't try to populate this cost per person in the room, and also here total ad spend. Because then you can figure out how much for every dollar I'm putting in am I getting back, and what does it cost me to find a client? It costs me $2,000 to find a client. One client, right? And then you figure out, you know, and obviously then the effort. And this also starts to give you an idea, where should I price myself? Yeah? Because people can see the cherry on the top of what it is, but actually don't actually realize that I work 12 months in the year to travel to all these places, to go, to fill the rooms, to deliver the content, risking it all along the way, that, you know, I will end up converting. Yeah.
Is the 2,000, are you measuring that against the 2-day big workshop? You know?
No, so let's say I do, okay.
To bring them to that? Or?
So let's say I do 35 half-day workshops a year, and it costs me, well, it would be, let's say, $70,000 of costs, and I may have walked away with, what is it? Well, I did work it backwards. It's more than $70,000. It's $140,000, because if I've picked up 70 authors across those 35 events, then that's $2,000 an author. That's how I'm working it out. Yeah? So pure advertising. I'm not talking about anything else. Yeah? So yeah, so you got to figure out how much does it cost me. So as I said, you guys, sometimes you kind of go, okay, well, I've got these costs in running my workshop or retreat or 2-day or whatever it is, but have you actually worked out what does it cost to find those needles in a haystack, as I like to call it? And sometimes you'll rock up to cities and you're going to have to put on your spreadsheet 0. Like I noted for Tasmania last week. 2 events, all that effort, all that stuff, 0, you know, nothing, donuts. But then you go, where was it? Adelaide. It was our biggest event ever, and we got 8 in one room. Now that was like 30%. 8 spend the highest. 8 authors at 20 grand. Yeah? Yeah, and Gold Coast was the second one, 7. All right, so then you get those kind of things. But overall, at the end of the year, what you're testing and measuring, and you're figuring out, where is my percentage sitting at? Am I being consistent, or I'm really dropping the ball here? So I get, you know, a little bit, oh, why didn't nothing happen? At least one result would make all of this, da da da. You can get yourself really down. You know, you just got to get up and do it all over again tomorrow. That's it. You look at it. And now that I've been testing and measuring for 4 years, it's consistent. It is there. It is right there where it needs to be. And I just know that, you know, this is it. This is the way it is. Yes, because when you're running a one-to-many business, you have peak sales periods, and then you've got nothing. I didn't sell anything in December and January, nothing. But now I know in 2 months I'll probably make, you know, close to $1 million in sales, because I know my plan periods, they're sales booms, if you like. Sounds terrible. Because then when you have this business and you have people on payment plans, guess what? You get paid regularly all year round. All year round. And I actually like payment plans because they make me feel like I don't have to spend the money. You know, I love payment plans. Yeah, and it makes the business consistent, and I don't have to freak out at Christmas time the way when I used to do one-on-one coaching. Yeah? So, yes?
I don't know if this question is relevant now.
Yeah.
But I heard you say before, I'm where I want to be and I just want to stay there. Right?
Yeah.
You want to grow.
Plateau, yeah?
But I've always heard that you can't stay where you are. You have to keep, you know?
I think that's more like, if you stagnate completely, you will fall behind and she'll actually lose business. So she has to grow.
I have to grow, yeah. I grew by starting my own publishing company. Like, that was a big new introduction in what we did. And don't forget, my way and desire of how I make whatever the income and the revenue of my business is going to shift over the years. Maybe I'll want to stop doing the half days. Maybe I'll want to change strategy. And at one point I thought it was going to be the Evergreen webinar, where I send ads to the Evergreen webinar, have a break to call and sell on the phone and just run my retreats, right? Totally don't have to travel, save all of these other costs, but I hate the phone. I'm shit scared of the phone. So I don't like selling on the phone. I don't know, it's a fear of mine. I like also connecting. I think if I stay at home too long, I start to get depressed. I need people. Give me people. I steal your energy so I can have more energy, yeah? So where is your, how, you were talking about this, Andrew, like, you know, figuring out where the business owners, what their patterns are and where they operate best to get the results, you know, in their business. And that's what I say to my authors. Not all of you are going to be able to do what Francesca and I do. You might need to do it in your own style with how your energy is and where you're going to have the gold that's going to convert for you. Yeah. For now, I'm having a lot of fun. That doesn't mean I'm ripe and rotting. You know what, that green are growing are ripe and rotting, right? I'm definitely continuing to, you know, this what we're talking about now, this is a constant and never ending. Every day I get up, I'm like going, what's going on? How's this working? It's still a lot of, it's not on autopilot. Guys, there's no such thing as passive income. I'm sorry, but there really isn't. You still got to get up and do as much as you outsource and all that. You're the leader. You got to oversee. You got to be inventive. Francesca had to react and be proactive when Facebook ads weren't working. What else can we do? Where else can we find people? Oh, bot. Oh, it's working. Okay. Yeah. It's the bot now. Next year it's going to be something else. Yeah. You got to learn those new things. Why people implode is when they continue to do, like, let's say someone continued to just advertise on radio or TV. You know. It's probably outdated. It's great to have PR, but people are looking at, you know, other avenues of hiring people for products and services. So you test and measure your, obviously management fees is something that you need to be mindful of. Are you getting value for your money? Your Facebook ad spend, your ticket sales, as you said, travel costs, sales and conversion. If this shows high, on your return on investment, then scale it up and go to the next level. So initially we used to spend $1,000 per event on our Facebook ad spend, and we've slowly inched it up, $1,500, $2,000. We are sitting now at $2,500. The other thing to note, if you are going to run events, is like, am I going to spend, how many people do I want in the room? Because I don't know about you, but smaller rooms sometimes convert better. Yeah? Sometimes when I get a room of 50 or 60 people at my half day, I lose connection with most people. Like, you know, you might connect with the ones that speak up, but then like my conversion rate actually reduces. I don't know if it's just me or whatever, but I actually feel like capping my half days at about 30-ish people is kind of a sweet spot for me. And yes, you have to do more multiples of those, but you know, it could be. So never underestimate the size of the room, I always say. Just turn up and do your best, because sometimes smaller rooms have had way bigger conversions. Yeah.
Just with the testing and measuring, this might be outside that.
Yeah.
But I'm just wondering, do you ever look at your demographics and find out what's common about your customers?
Oh yeah, well that needs to be done right at the front end of what you're doing and who you want to attract, and that's how you set up your targeting females, 35 to 55, coaches, consultants, psychologists, people following these guys, and da-da-da-da.
Rather than target, I just wondered if you looked at the outcome, you know, this year.
Once they become a client?
Yes, what's similar between them?
Oh yeah, well it's exactly those people that I just said. You know, just ask and look at the people around this room, you know, it's exactly who they are. And when I'm talking to them, I'm speaking their language. Yeah, I know these guys, how they operate with all their fears, and you can tell from the moment you meet someone whether they are going to also progress or not progress, in terms of you start to really be in tune with where their fears and stuff that's holding them back is. And as you deliver the content, you actually you need to be speaking the unspoken. Yeah? Cool. All right. What's next? Oh, a game. All right. It's the Facebook game. So one of our challenges for you guys is to post a super tip on your expertise in 2 groups. Okay, so this is a value-adding insight from what you're an expert in. It doesn't have to be done right now. It can be done. No, not right now. We've got a lot of stuff to. This is just take a photo or whatever. Remember, we're watching you till Sunday. Okay? So this doesn't end today. So by the way, all of the challenges we're giving you over these last 2 days, have you noticed they're generally what type of content you should be releasing out there? Yeah? So we haven't even gotten to the testimonial bit, which, you know, so we've given you posts that have about your credibility and expertise, posts about your personal story, keeping you real. The testimonial will be about social proof. Yeah? So all of those are those boxes that you're ticking, and then you can take different angles on them as you progress after the masterclass to keep creating content. Yeah? So that's one of your challenges. All right, any other questions on, why is this? Sorry, because we did lunch, right? We did lunch already. Any other questions on Facebook ads before I go into video power? And how are we going? No, it's all right.
I don't know if you want to cover it today, but
Yep.
like, I'm a bit confused sometimes when you do those ads and how you can design them. Like people say, you know, don't boost them and also don't.
Yes.
When you do them, like, is it click for conversion or don't click for conversion and all of that? Like,
What do you mean by click for conversion?
okay, yes, you probably know better than me. Like, when you pay for an ad, you can either pay per click or you'll pay per conversion, but I always find
That is, well, you will have those numbers in the back end of your Facebook ads account that tell you how much is per click and how much is per conversion. That they're figures that you should be able to access yourself. Yeah? Insights, yeah, into
Business per impression.
in the business.
I was an impression, yeah, so that's it.
Per click, pay per
Yeah. No, in the business manager, where the Facebook ads get run through. That's where you will find all of those figures. Yeah. What did you want to know about that?
Just like which is the best way to go about it, like which is kind of more.
I don't think you choose one or the other. You just it reports in terms of what happened, and then you look at it. You don't just go, oh, I'm going to run my ad per click or per conversion. Huh?
At the start, so if you run an ad, it'll actually say, would you like clicks or would you like conversions, right? Depending on what your marketing campaign is. What I was going to say before, but then I shut up.
Yeah, go on.
That's your talk to your marketer.
Yeah.
That's actually something, the reason Natasha doesn't know that is because that's what the Facebook guy does. So she does the copy, the content, all that sort of stuff, and then he goes in and does that bit.
Stuart might know, but yeah.
But yeah, because you don't want to make that choice, because that's why you pay someone to do that, because you want to get the results and you do that. So.
Yeah. Pay someone to do it, bottom line. Pay someone to do it and keep asking questions and keep learning. And even though you're paying someone because they're an expert, keep learning it yourself. Because Stuart, Sis didn't know how to read her back end, business manager. And then Stuart had to sit down, and when she come to our house and he explained to her, look at this number, this is what this number, he gave her a whole training session. And I think they've been on the phone a few times as well, so she understands to read this back end. And he goes, oh my God, what's going on here? Blah, blah, blah. He like looks at it and he can see the picture for the whole thing of what's going on, if this is working or not working. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing is, I'll just go closer so you can hear me.
Yeah.
But I'm not
Oh, you don't have the mic.
Yeah. Let me talk to your boob. I just wanted to make sure that you guys understand that the ad is sometimes a quick fix. People think like, oh, I'm just gonna put money in there. That's what I did when I saw Natasha spending money in the ad. I'm like, boom, that's what I'm gonna do. And at first I wasn't ready. I was like probably a year into this business, and I didn't have the cash flow to do that, but I did it anyway, thinking Facebook ads is gonna give me more business, so I will have the cash flow after. So I've done that a lot in my business, jump and then figure it out. Which is, I don't regret it, but I did lose about $25,000 in the first 6 months, and that's why they fired me, because they were like, it doesn't work. And I'm like, why? It's your fault. And then what I realized is that I was actually teaching as well that, which I really like. I changed things around because I was teaching not to use the business page at all, which I don't suggest that now. I'd say you need to be active on your personal profile, and you need to make sure that you post on your, we're going to talk about posting later, in your business page, because you need to be this page to grow.
Yeah.
Because that's why the Facebook ads company that I'm using now, which is Natasha's as well, I love them because they love me because it's easy. Because I've got a very strong following on my business page as well.
Yes.
So the following, it always comes first regardless. So don't go and think that it's a quick fix and just put money on Facebook and boom, it's going to happen. No, there's like I do a meeting with these people every single Monday, and we come up with a different strategy, a different tweak, a different thing. I do a video, I send it to them, we try. $1,000 down the drain, another $1,000. Like it's a lot of investment in time, money, and effort. And that's what I Natasha was saying, like my team does a lot less, and boom, we get bundles hit one after the other. So is it better to give away a ticket to your half-day workshop for free and last or less? Like I gave you a free ticket, who cares? It cost me way less to give you a free ticket
Then
and get
find-
you to go on Facebook, find my Facebook ad, and pay Facebook ads $300 to get you here. I'm like, just give you a free ticket, right? So I've worked that out over the years. That it's better to put your prices down than keep your prices up and pay $300 Facebook ads. Does it make sense? So don't go straight to Facebook ads. Put your prices down first and fill that
For the
up
half day, you mean?
for your half day.
Yeah,
for-
so don't, I wouldn't advertise events any greater than $100,
No.
like 97 under. As we have a 49 general admission ticket and 87 a VIP ticket. And that's what we've been doing successfully lately. That's the other strategy, is that if you have two options of tickets, then you also know who are the super serious people in the room, and you put those in the front row and all that kind of stuff. And that's where you can also, just gauge who is in the room. Yeah. Perfect. Awesome. Anything else on ads?
Can Stuart do a workshop on
We might be able to get Stuart up to do and talk about this a little bit more. Actually, Stuart spoke a little bit at the Melbourne Masterclass, so the one that's coming up in July. He did a bit in there, but we can do stuff and explain a bit more. But again, you can get ideas, but ultimately you'll still need to work with someone to work on the strategy with you. All right, let's do video power. And I think you guys are pretty good. So I'm just going to keep going for another 15, 20 minutes. Then we'll do a little game and finish off this segment. All right, so equipment first. All right. So video is if you actually scroll through the feed on Facebook, nearly every second post nowadays is a video post. Yeah? People live streaming, people having videos with subtitles. It's so powerful, and it's such a beautiful way to engage and get people to really feel your energy. The one way they can feel your energy is through photos, but of course if there's moving images, and this is why when people can't be stuff listening to the video out loud, they watch subtitle, and that's why it's so important to have them on your videos. Not all the time, but ones that you really want, entrepreneurs like Kerwin Ray, Gary Vee, have you seen some of their videos? They're so well cut and edited and all that. That's because they have an in-house videographer, right? It's constantly, that's their job full time, to follow them around, to get really, really cool things that they're saying, and then to pull it all together. And you know what? It probably pays back 100 million times fold back to their businesses, because of course that's their intellectual property and people are buying then their other stuff. But equipment first. Audio. Okay, so when you're doing video, it is important that you have good light and good audio, so that people enjoy and are relaxed watching stuff rather than feeling, oh my God. So as you guys have seen the last 2 days, we're constantly swapping microphones and all that. And this is what we call a Rode mic, R-O-D-E, and it's got its receiver up there at the camera. And when you are using these mics, your camera actually must have a mic jack. Okay, if it doesn't have a mic jack, it's generally means it's a lower quality camera. So usually cameras that are under $600-700 will not have a mic jack. So invest in one that has that. And so this is wireless. Obviously, it's got batteries, and we're using a splitter, which means we actually have two, so we don't have to keep swapping microphones. But you've got to be mindful and have someone, obviously observe the battery levels. And it's beautiful that Vanessa's here, because in Melbourne, I'm in charge of all of this while I'm doing this stuff and making sure everything's running okay at the back of the room. Also, you can have wired ones. So if you actually want to use a microphone while you're filming yourself on your phone, you can actually get a wired one. I got one, I don't know exactly, I'll post it in our group, but it's a 5-meter cord. So you can actually set up your phone on a tripod and actually come at the front and still not be able to see the wire, because it's quite a long wire, and you can actually buy it from Amazon and have better quality audio, because not everyone has a camera like what's in the back of the room, but phones nowadays are suitable to do awesome video with, and you can have portable little clickers which make the video start and stop, so you don't have to do a lot of editing, right? So I think, was it you, Andrew? Yeah, are you taking out your thingy, your selfie thingy?
Yeah, well, I've got that.
Yeah. Yeah, so Andrew had this thing which is called a what is it? A gimbal. Yeah, so this is like a little $100.
100, yeah, that one's $100. Yeah. That's a cheap one, but they work perfectly fine.
Right, so this thing converts into a little tripod, and then if you're doing selfie videos, it kind of follows you everywhere you're going and looks a lot more professional and smooth.
It's battery powered.
And
so it runs it. So it basically holds itself there and
yeah.
just moves.
Yeah, and then you can control this recording from here and all that sort of stuff, so you have a lot less editing to do, and that makes you, so something like that, or at the very least just a tripod so that, you know, you can set it up. Yes, Joan.
So that's for your iPhone or your
Phone, yeah, for your phone.
It's called a gimbal. That particular one is a Vimble, which is Vimble 2. Hey, Francesca,
Like this?
do that link I shared with you.
Put it in the Masterclass graduate list.
Put that in the Masterclass so everyone can get it.
Yeah.
Camera House is going to love me. They're suddenly like, fair warning, you do need to learn how to use that.
Yeah.
It is not easy.
Yeah.
So that's something you need before you start filming.
Yeah. Play with it, of course.
Hand control,
Yeah,
then that's what you
no, not the hand controls. Play with how it moves.
How it
stuff
moves,
like that.
yeah. Woo. It follows you. It just follows you.
Still gotta hold it.
Do you want me to show you?
Yeah.
All right, you set it up until I explain lighting. You set it up on the side. All right, so lighting. If you're going to do videos for content and at home, you want to make sure the light is really good. And anyway, when you're doing live streams, don't stand in front of, like, have a window with brightness at the back. The light should always be hitting your face. Yeah? Earlier this morning, I used my phone for a live stream because when you're in venues, where's my other little phone? Huh?
Just let me know when
Here. Okay, so this phone, this is my spare iPhone. And in rooms like this, it's crap. The downlights make you look like 15 years older because they make you bags of eyes. So actually, I've got this little light on my phone, and I do my pretty photos and everything. So this is my, it's called Lumee, okay? It's really cool. So Lumee. And actually, this is not my real, not my phone. This is my spare iPhone I use for music in my events, but also if I want to do some photos and stuff, it's always on, like it's really like a little computer. And therefore I did the lives this morning and some photos with people using this rather than my other phone because this looks crap, yeah? So, you know, we're all a little bit vain, and then you put a filter on it and you look perfect. All right, so, but at home, if you're using a camera like that, I actually have purchased from a professional videographer store one of those lights that actually throw the light on you. And I often do videos with my wall behind me, with my background, and I'll stay there and I'll record. Sometimes I choose the clothing that I wear, bright colors, because if I'm going to use it on a Facebook ad, it picks up like I wore a really yellow dress, and it really just makes people kind of stop. So think about those kind of things. But lighting and audio are super important for people to want to continue watching. If something looks blurry, people can't hear you, all that sort of stuff, you know, they lose and they just switch off, especially even on live streaming. Is it ready?
Yeah.
Is that show us? Like, so.
Yeah, I was waiting for you. I just don't want to interrupt you.
Yeah, go on.
So this is a gimbal. So basically, you can see it's balanced there. I've set that up, but now that I've turned it on,
Yes.
if I can make two choices. I can either just let it follow the buttons and the phone will turn, right? Or I can lock it in a position and then I can turn that no matter what and it'll stay there. But also,
It's just so smooth.
see how it just moves itself, right? But there's my arm is shaking because I'm human.
Yes.
But this takes away the shake,
Yeah.
right? And so you can just do this, and I can move over there. And if let's say I want to transition from me to Natasha, I don't have to stand there. I go, say hi to Natasha, everybody,
Yeah.
right? And then I can just come back here.
Does that camera go the other way? Because your videoing really should be lengthwise, otherwise you're going to have two black
Yes,
spots down
you
the
can.
side.
You can go that way. Yes, absolutely. So how you do now? The big thing to note. Yeah. So that whole thing moves. I'll turn it off first because I can't do it while it's on. Because it's battery powered. The big thing to know about a gimbal or a Vimble is that you do not take the phone out while it's on, because the whole idea of the battery of the battery powered thing is that it balances the phone and holds it there, and it's getting rid of the vibrations. So if you take it out, your motor is just going to overwork and go. And you'll
So
be stuck
turn
with
everything
your motor.
off.
So turn it off and then adjust anything you need to do. But yeah, you can just do that.
Yeah, nice.
Nice and easy.
Yeah. Awesome. So there's all these little tools, guys. You might need to invest a little bit for my little camera setup. Like I have a camera like that. I've got a beautiful tripod, Manfrotto. Yes, that's the one I have as well. I have my Rode mics. The Rode mic. It cost me like a $1,500 tripod. My thingo. This. What is it called? The microphone, right? And my camera light, and that's how I filmed my Ultimate 48 Hours online portal. I didn't hire a professional videographer. I just obviously asked the professional videographer, what do I need to buy? But then I set myself up and I just did it, and I used iMovie to edit stuff out. Yeah, there is a time and a place when you can invest in professional videography, so that you saw the retreat video. Obviously, I didn't do that, did I? But yeah. No, the receiver's there. It's a wireless. This is just attached to a battery pack, and then that's obviously like a lapel mic, but the other component is up there. Yeah, so that's how it's receiving it. Yes, Annika.
I realise we use Apple, but for those of us who don't have Apple, does anyone in the room maybe know video software editing? Yeah, film or
So on Samsungs, you don't.
No, on your laptop.
Oh, to edit stuff? Well, PCs have Windows Movie Maker. Yeah. iMovies are for
Video Leap.
or Video Leap.
Video Leap.
Yeah. All right, scene and background. So where are you going to do your videos? It doesn't always have to be with a background which is stagnant, or your branding and all that sort of stuff. Sometimes, because I sell lifestyle, I'm doing a lot of videos when I'm in Thailand or wherever I am, just, chatting and talking about stuff in beautiful locations. So if you ever find yourself in a awesome location, do some videos there, record a few and just make sure the light is always hitting your face rather than being behind you. All right. Makeup. All right. Should you wear makeup when you do videos? So now, okay, but what, hey, hang on. But you know what? Sometimes when I don't have the time or I can't be stuff, but I really want to do a video, I use the filter on the live stream. So on the live stream, there is certain filters you can choose, and it makes you look like you've pretty much nearly done your makeup, even if you don't have it. So sometimes I've bypassed it. But yes, look, doing your makeup and all that, it's going to make you feel better, because when you're looking at yourself, it can be a little bit distracting, right? And editing software, which we spoke about before. But yeah, sometimes people want to see also the real us, unfiltered, whatever, and it's okay. If you're comfortable with that, you just do it. But I know in the early stages of doing video, you might feel like self-conscious, blah, 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 blah. So makeup will just spruce you right up. So format of videos. Okay, so I always say, so this is like, what the hell do I say now in my videos, right? Like, how do I start? So could you think of a signature introduction? Could you say something, hey, I'm Francesca Moy, the meetup queen, or her little signature intro, hey, Facebook lovers. Lovers or livers?
Nobody knows.
I don't know, like I always think you're saying lovers, or hey, hope you're doing well, or whatever it is, just, is there something, because that also sort of get you going. It's like your opening sentence, this is where I'm at, or whatever it is, but what will be your little signature introduction? Now, in your body of the video, what I usually say to people is think of either sharing one story which has had an insight that you want to share in the video, or 3 key tips. Jono does this, for some of you who know him, the Bootcamp Blueprint guy. He did the book at the August retreat. He always, every time he comes on videos, he goes, I've got 3 tips to, I'm going to show you blah, blah, blah. Even my testimonial for my new Ultimate 48 Author book, he gave me a testimonial with the 3 key things why he signed up into the program. I'm actually going to print it in the book like that. But this is a really good way to organize the information in your head and go, these are the 3 steps, or this is the 3 ideas I want to share with you, because the brain loves 3s, it learns in 3s, and you're keeping it nice and simple, or you're sharing one key story with a lesson throughout it. every day is an opportunity to have a story to share. And some of you who live stream regularly, you know how you're using those stories. Oh, this is what happened today, and this is how I handled it. And I'm always looking for stories within what I do. The best stories are when you stuff up, yeah? Because it's like, oh gosh, now I've learned from this, now I can share about this, and this is how I can turn up. So I usually say think of 1 or 3 tips, and I write all my ideas in my notes, in my iPad, or notes on my phone. So sometimes you're so dry for content, oh my God, what am I going to talk about today, right? When I was on a cruise with Mum last October, what I did is I brainstormed 26 topics for my Monday morning podcast. I was sitting there relaxed, and I go, oh, okay, maybe I should talk about this, that. And I just hand wrote them, and then I got my VA to type them up because I felt like doing it that way. Now I've got content because I usually know what I want to talk about, but the weeks I'm really stuck, I just opened this golden resource that I created while I was on a cruise, and I go, oh, okay, I can talk about this today because I can't really think. So use your notes section, and when you get ideas, don't let them just fall off and drop away. You really just jot them down, and you will come back to them to talk about them later on. Okay, so this is pre-recorded videos where you might be sharing a tip, but keep them to 90 seconds, okay? Not live streams, guys. Live streams are different, but if you can keep pre-recorded videos where you're like, I want to share a tip or a story or whatever. Generally, people's attention span, as Shelley said, nowadays on video is a lot shorter. It used to be, say, 2 or 3 minutes in the early days when I did business. Now it's like right down to 90 seconds. And 90 seconds, you can still say quite a lot in, yeah? Call to action or no call to action. Not every video needs to have a call to action, okay? However, I would at least suggest one without, one with, because sometimes you just want to add value and build rapport with people. You can see it in videos, but you don't every time have to go here, come here, buy this now, here's the link for this. You know, just kind of do it half-half, okay? Signature sign-off, you know, what are you going to say? You know, in my, like, kind of more staged videos, I'll finish off, Natasha Denman, the ultimate 48-hour author, like in the TV. They say, but what's your thing going to be? If it's a live stream, see you later, guys, smash it out. I say, smash out your week ahead, something like that. You might have 2 or 3 signature sign-offs, yeah? So think about that. Okay, it's game time, sis. They're falling asleep, sis. All right, so where to post? We're back at video, right? Where to post? Everywhere. Everywhere. YouTube. Oh, by the way, YouTube has got live streaming themselves. Okay, just so you guys know. So live streaming is across pretty much most social media platforms, but also, of course, generic videos, that your content videos and all that sort of stuff. Your blog. If you're lazy to write blogs, just use video as vlogs. Yeah, so blogs are where you get the most search engine optimization to your website, and when people follow you and they want to get notifications when you put up blogs, why wouldn't you take off the video that you put on social media as a vlog, yeah, video log? Various social medias, including your groups, your fan page, YouTube, Vimeo. Vimeo is another version of like YouTube, but it's a different platform. You can post it on there. And make sure that you're using keywords in your descriptions, okay? Because when people look up video, guess what? The first thing that turns up on the top of a search is people's YouTube videos. Liz?
How do you get rid of, or how do you post a watch party?
Yeah, they're new watch parties. I still haven't figured that one out. When Francesca comes back down, I'll ask her, because something her VAs do, they almost create like a watch party. So a lot of people have been creating watch parties lately.
That's what we're laughing at, because ours is like a watch party.
Yours ended up being a watch party?
Yeah, the last slide, it's got to come up with a watch party.
Okay, I'll ask, because I've been trying to figure that out myself. Yeah, it is the next thing to live streaming, is creating a watch party. All right, so YouTube hacks. Okay, so make sure you're writing detailed descriptions rich with keywords, and also in your titling of your YouTube video that you're using those keywords for how you want people to find them. On YouTube, make sure you create a channel trailer. Okay, so when someone rocks up on your YouTube channel, you have like a little 60-second who you are, why would people get value from subscribing to your YouTube channel, and of course a call to action on it. And you can just go on famous YouTubers and see what their YouTube channel trailers look like and create one for yourself. My one has one, so feel free to check mine out.
What's your call to action?
Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll connect with you very, very regularly. Your channel art. So YouTube has similar things like Facebook and LinkedIn. Those cover photos. Well, on LinkedIn they're called a LinkedIn background. On YouTube they're called channel art. Okay, so this is your little banner. All social media platforms have different sizes of cover photos and backgrounds. So you need to research what's the latest one, and that tool Canva, remember we talked about Canva this morning, can be utilized to create your own channel art. I used to outsource it to designers, but lately I create my own channel art because I like to change things up. Once you get familiar with it, you can do awesome little designs on it. So make sure you make it look inviting and active, the channel, rather than like just plain and boring with nothing there. On YouTube, you can put your videos in 3 different with different settings. A public video, which is viewed by every single person in the world. They can look it up, watch your videos. Unlisted videos, which is where you are only via sharing a link, like say Terry, I shared a link with you. So for example, these videos that we're doing throughout the masterclass are going to end up being in an unlisted playlist on YouTube, so no one that doesn't work with us can discover them. Only you guys will get the link to them and you'll be able to access them. And this is like, I kind of use YouTube as a little bit of a quasi-membership area. Okay, so I kind of go, okay, I put all of my paid client stuff on there, but I put it as an unlisted video, and then I share those links with my paying clients versus having a full-blown membership site. Now there's a disadvantage to that, because obviously it's not, how do I know if I gave Terry the link that she can't share it with Sandra? You know what I mean? So let's say Sandra wasn't our client, that doesn't protect you in that way, you know what I mean? But even so, if you say it's Francesca, for example, you've got your membership site system. If Terry was part of that membership site, she could still give a login to Sandra. What stops her? How would anyone find out that someone is hacking? So exactly right, that's what I was about to say. So I always say, never worry about other people ripping off your stuff, because it happens all the time in this world, movies, music, everything. I always say, if someone is not doing the right thing, karma's a bitch, and they're gonna get, someone else is gonna steal from them, right? In some other way. And secondly, they are promoting you to someone else. So if Terry says sharing with Sandra, and Sandra starts watching me and goes, oh cool, I'm getting a lot of value, who is this girl? She might build up her 10 to 12 hours of content with me through watching these videos, and all of a sudden Sandra rocks up and says, actually, I'm interested in what you do, blah, 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 and so on, and magic happens. So if you don't want to build a full-blown membership site and pay website designers to do so, just organize your videos nicely in playlists. So this will be called, of course, Social Media Masterclass March 2019 Masterclass playlist. And it will be unlisted, and it will have Vanessa has been told, please segment each of the 10 topics we're discussing over these 2 days in 10 different videos. And then they rock up like that. So when you guys get given one link, which takes you to the whole playlist, and then you can neatly access whichever videos and watch them in the order. Yeah, and of course private videos are purely able to be seen just by yourself. They're not going to be able to be shared via link. You might want to keep videos private until such time that you want to release them publicly or release them for other people to be able to view them. I tend to use one or the other. I usually, if I don't want to release a video, I'll keep it as unlisted, and when I release it, I can put it on as public. With consistency, you can build up an awesome library. I mean, my 200-300 hours worth of footage from these masterclasses, from other avenues, my online course, everything's on there. Now I'm sitting at over 1,000 videos. This is after 9 years, admittedly, like you're kind of shaking your head, but it's after 9 years. It's after consistently just doing video. If you're scared about doing video, just go to YouTube and put Natasha Denman weight loss and watch some of my really early videos of how robotic and unlike me I seem. Yeah, I haven't removed any videos from there. It's my journey and my growth and evolution through it all. Playlists, which is what I just, they're beautiful. I love playlists because they organize the content so nice and neatly within the YouTube channel. And use as a free to set up a members area. There you go. Live streaming. Who here has done live streaming? Who hasn't? Let me ask, who has ever done a live stream? Live stream.
Is that like a pin?
No, when you go live. On Facebook. Who has never done a live stream? Oh, really? Yeah, live stream is Periscope, but on Facebook. Okay, one of your challenges is going to be to do a live stream before Sunday. Okay, but let's just talk about some suggestions of when you go live. Yeah? All right, minimum 5 minutes. This is where Andrew goes, okay. So why minimum 5 minutes? Because when you go on live, in order to build up an audience, people have to realize you're live. And initially, if you don't have people who are following your lives, maybe they won't realize. Yesterday, someone said, but Nat, I'm not seeing your lives pop up. Next time you see me live, you need to click on, notify me when Nat's live, and then you'll be able to be notified whenever I'm going live. But it does take a bit of time to build up an audience. Please don't be one of those people who sit there and wait for an audience. Because you're being filmed. You're being filmed from the moment the word go, which means all the hundreds of people who watch it after the fact, if they don't see you talking from the start, they're going to switch off and they're not going to watch your cool stuff. So you must, I'll just open it all. And make sure you're saying cool shit from the beginning. That's what I've got on there. Figure it out. What are you going to say? How are you going to start the call? You're going to encourage people to share it. I think Jono, one of our authors, does live streaming really, really well. You might want to check him out. I'll pop his name on here. So he tells them what to do, how to do it, how to gain interaction. People like to be told what to do. Yesterday when we were doing the thing, he said put #tribe, and then people were putting #tribe in terms of what we were speaking about. So tell people, interact with those that join. Hey sis, how you doing? People like to know that other people are watching, and what that does is at the recording time when people are rewatching, they go, oh, okay, lots of people were live on this call. You might say later on, if you're watching the recording, put like replay or something, #replay, that they watch the replay. So you can do things like that. Be real. Here you can even be in your pajamas sometimes. Yeah. So you can share stuff. Like I was at the airport the other day sitting on the floor waiting for my plane to go home, and I just talked to people what was happening, how things were, and some of those videos where you're just doing it in the most unlikely places can gain a lot of interaction and comments. And think before you click go live, have your content prepared, especially when you're doing it for the first time. Like, you look stupid if you don't know what you're talking about, or you're thinking about it on the spot. So often in the shower on a Monday morning when I'm about to... No, I'm not live streaming.
That's called something else.
But my head is working, like every time I'm about to do live, how will I add value with what I'm going to say on this live? Because if I don't know what my one story is, my 3 points are, what the hell is my topic? Basically when you go live, you need to have a sexy headline to get people, curious to open up that live. Sis does a lot of, you won't believe what happened, ... And then of course, don't do the, what do they call that? Phishing? Is it called like?
Clickbait, yeah.
Clickbaiting, yes, it's called clickbaiting. Make sure you tell them why the title of that was what it was. Otherwise, it kind of like it can be dishonest, right? I use little emoticons in my headlines on live because emoticons again make people stop their little images of what might be spoken about or whatever it is. I read that from other people who are doing awesome live streams, like put a lot of little emoticons in your live stream. And your live stream can go across to your blog straight away. Like, so if you are doing content live streaming with purpose, then you're obviously repurposing in all of these other areas. So sis, come on up and we do a...
It's always more than 10 words. It wasn't 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Oh, you changed it. Okay.
Yeah, 10 seconds.
All right.
So,
Let's
before
try.
we do afternoon tea,
Yeah.
let's go. Rapid fire Q&A. Tracy,
YouTube, how much does it cost to
nothing. It's free.
Oh, that was easy.
the watch party?
It's not fair.
Oh yeah, the watch party does.
Watch party is the best thing ever.
How do you do
I
it?
will do a VIP on it. VIP webinar.
But there's people in
I know, but I can't explain in 10 seconds.
Okay.
So watch party is amazing. When you are live, you just need to click on watch party and other people will see it popping up.
What does it mean?
It's a lot.
It's an hour, so you can. What I use it, I can't do it in 10 seconds. What I use it for is that you go live, and then after the live, you can schedule other videos. So, for example, if I'm going to Adelaide, I can do a live and do a watch party, and then my VA can put after that, queue up other video that said, "I'm coming to Adelaide in your city," and people will watch that, and they will go, "Oh wow." Right, or could be like more added value and other stuff. So people, after they watch one video, they want to watch more about you, right? That's what it is for.
Wendy, what's next?
Is everything?
Hands up, guys.
How do you do Facebook Live so that when you invite somebody in, so you're side by side and not up in the corner?
When you turn your phone this way. When you start from the beginning.
Yes,
Yeah.
from the beginning.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a paid thing. You have to
No, sis, it's Be Live.
No?
You can
Be Live.
You can do
It's called Be Live, and you pay for it.
It used to be free.
You can get free ones which only upload 15 minutes and give you so many in a month.
Yeah.
You can do that.
But Facebook is the reason why I stopped using Be Live is because again it's something outside that Facebook doesn't like it. So just go live and then it will go up on the corner. It doesn't get as much.
You can do that only from your iPhone.
I can give you more
Yeah.
info later.
Correct.
Not from your Samsung.
Not desktop.
What, to go live together?
Yeah, on two parallel screens. Like you're doing an interview, it's only from your iPhone. You can't do it from your
You
Samsung.
can do it. The person comes up and then you just invite them on.
Yeah, but then it will go little in the screen.
We can test it in the
Okay.
tonight.
All right, more question.
It doesn't have to be social media related. It can be anything that you want to know.
When you said use emoticons, did you mean in the description?
Yes, in the title, at the end of it. Yeah. What else? Yes.
Concerning blog posts, this always confused me.
Blog what?
The blogs, do you have like a tab for blogs? Like
Yes,
your
blog in your website. Yep, blog page.
Either on your website or your Facebook page?
No blogs on your website.
Ask a juicy question. Go for it.
Personally,
Yeah.
like through your journey,
There you
what's
go.
been
Yeah.
the biggest fear that you both had to overcome, and that might still come up.
10 seconds.
For me is numbers. Every now and again, I think I'm not good enough to go into hundreds.
Oh, it would have been hundreds.
Hundreds of people. Like I can keep the room small, but if I go bigger, I'm not good enough.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes that my fear has been like, is what I'm doing, bringing value to people, is it worth what I'm doing? And then, yeah. Well, I keep getting those references for that, but when you have like a low period or a downturn, you kind of go, oh, maybe what I sell, it doesn't sell. Those
Just
doubts.
doubt
And
it.
then, in addition to that question, 3
Oh.
tips on how you get over it. Like how to
3 tips on how to get over it.
Go and sell more. when they buy it?
Okay, so morning routine. I always, when I do it, I can get over it. When I don't do it, I go into like a tunnel. Tony Robbins. Yeah, true.
Really
And Abraham Hicks. And now lately I've been doing a lot of Deepak Chopra meditation. I'm on a 21-day meditation. I'm loving it.
Yeah, I like Abraham Hicks.
Yeah.
And I just go out and do it more. So then, as soon as I get more references for success, my confidence goes whoop, and then it's like. Then sometimes I can get overconfident. It's like, yes, if you don't see the value, you're crazy. Yes.
No, Andrew here was.
sorry.
Outside of social media,
Yes.
Yeah.
what is your one
Yes.
ultimate business tip for everyone in the room?
Networking.
One each.
Oh, thanks.
That's to be different.
I stole it.
Collaborations.
Networking.
Collaborations.
Collaboration.
Yeah, this
Yes.
collaboration. Cherry?
Cherry in there.
What's your morning routine?
My morning routine is I wake up, okay, I literally do it, right? I wake up, I'm going, and then I go like that. I find my phone. I don't look properly, because if I look properly, I go into Facebook. So I just go like that, and I just like undo it from flight mode, and I look for YouTube, and I go, yep, that was the one, and then I just put it there. Because if not, if I open my eyes completely, that's it. Then Facebook takes over my life, and then I don't do it. And then I do that, and then I listen to it. And then I take Only Boy for a beautiful walk, and then we stop at the park, we play, and had so much fun. Used to add the gym to it. I haven't lately, which is not very good. And then I usually not in the office until 9:30. I don't start until later.
Yeah.
Yours?
Oh, mine? Wake up, exercise straight away. I go to the PT or do my 7-minute workout app. Which we've done the last 2 mornings, and she nearly died.
I did.
And then I don't regularly meditate, but I do it, let's say, every second day. And then shower. I don't take.
Thank goodness I don't shower.
I don't do kids stuff. Stuart does kids drop-offs and all that, so I have to get myself ready so that I'm at the desk by 9. Yeah, I don't have breakfast. I'm doing intermittent fasting, so I don't eat till 11 to 7 every day.
Just with hashtags, and would you say this? Would you offer 3 hashtags that kind of would fit all over? What are your favourite 3 hashtags that might just fit in everything you post?
Hashtag mindset, hashtag events, hashtag best tip.
Hashtag ultimate 48 author, hashtag write a book, hashtag self-publishing.
Okay, that just fits your business.
Of course.
But there wasn't anything that would just get you.
No.
So your worst critic and how you handled it.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh, that can't do 10 seconds. Okay, who's starting? Worst critic. Okay, my publicly. I've got 2, one online and one face-to-face. Which one you want? I can't do it both.
We'll give you 20 seconds.
Okay, so one was online and said, you can't even speak English, how can you think that you're going to teach me something? And the first thing was about a couple of years ago. First thing is, someone said that to me. Oh, I don't want to be out there anymore. So the first thing was, I'm going to hide and stop doing this stuff because all I'm going to get is all these people, which was one. And so then I replied to him saying, sorry, you don't find this valuable. What you can do is unfollow me. And then he goes, why you keep having my page? I'm like, I'm trying to help you. And so it wasn't really good. And then I just stopped it. And the other one was face-to-face into an event. It was this older gentleman that didn't get the social media stuff part of it, and when he saw that I teach people how to get celebrity, he literally got into ego, going, who the hell do you think you are? And he would sit at the front, he was at the front, and every 3 words that I would say, he would say, bullshit. Bullshit. And I was like, okay, so I started to try to concentrate on this side because he was sitting here, but he kept saying it out loud, bullshit. Bullshit. I was like, and so at one point I went to him and said, sir, do you have anything to say? And he goes, no. I'm like, oh, I thought you were saying bullshit. I just couldn't. Eventually I'll just go in ego, right? And I just went, oh, I thought you were saying bullshit. Sorry, maybe it's my bad. He's like, well, what you're teaching is a lot of crap. I'm like, well, it might be for you. You might not be really my target market, so it might be that way. But I've got to be that I can't get it now. And then I was like, okay, get over it, because we're not going to have this conversation with everybody. So then I turned around and did my quick meditation, which is to get rid of ego. And I kept stepping until I got out of it. And then I'm like, okay, and then I kept going. And I was actually very impressed that the rest was okay. And he stopped saying bullshit, so that was fun. That was way more than 20 seconds. Yeah. Then he left after that. Sis, go for it.
I haven't had many critics, to tell you the truth, but I guess I can not summarize them under one person, but the critics of people who think writing a book in 48 hours is, they're like writers, or they've done literary degrees and all that kind of stuff, and they can undermine what I do without actually ever being in the system. So I often say to people, if you haven't been in my system or you haven't experienced what this is truly about, you've got no right to talk about what it's like. So I could pick up those kind of things, but no one specific like what you remember. My family has always supported me, even if they've been quiet on the sidelines while we were building up from nothing. Like kind of going, this one's crazy, she's going out networking all the time, and like she's reading books or she's talking about business and all that, but never criticizing. And that's, I think, something that I've been blessed that the family has always supported me, because if you don't have that, you know, doing it on your own and being a parent, you know, working around husband's roster and retail roster back then to build the business. So it's more those people who are, you know, dubious about the name of the business rather than anything else. But I know the people who work with me, you know, that every single person I can call upon and will vouch for what it is. Yeah. Last question, sis, and then we got to do a break. Yes.
I know you talk about in one of the other masterclasses, but ClickFunnels, you know, social media and how to use, like, you know, I know you can go onto ClickFunnels and make one, but then you've still got to have your database or whatever to market it to. Like, have you got any, like, I don't understand how that, like...
Yeah, it's not a 10-second answer to that. Yeah. All right, yeah.
What do you do if you've got a fat pimple on your face? Do you bring attention to it, or do you just ignore it?
What do you mean, a pimple?
Oh God!
If you were up on stage, sorry,
I never had a pimple in my face. I'm very lucky. I've got very beautiful skin. No,
I don't know.
It's all
Just do it.
Make your whole content out of it. Like, what was your process?
Yeah.
got an extra pimple off the face.
Yeah, why not?
Have a growth on my face.
Okay, let's go. We got one on one.
So guys,
Yep.
so the game is obviously, I said before, to do live stream on your personal profile before the weekend. Okay, we are watching you. All right, and
Half an hour. We've
so
got
now
two
we're
people.
going half an hour into our break. So till about 10 past.
10 past.
Stretch it.